Hello, hello, Shagath Unknown here. Welcome back to Code Vein here on the 14th of October 2022, local time 1751. And I stopped last time, I'm pretty sure, in the safe house thing. But it brought me back here, but we could see I've been in the boss room on the mini-map. So, guess we're fine. It's just a little odd, yeah. Just making sure nothing was wrong. So last time we beat 2 bosses, no, actually kind of 3. I don't really count, what was his name, Oliver? I don't really count him so much, he's pretty straightforward. But we beat that butterfly thing, naked lady, and then, alright, A is that. What was I thinking, Crackdown? I don't know, I was playing Crackdown last night. And then we beat this guy in here, as a big old giant dude. We beat him on the second try. Because the first time he cheated. Random enemy, like, came into the battle arena. And, complicated the situation a bit. I tried to not focus on the random enemy. I should have just tried to go take him out real quick. So, I don't think we have much else to do here, so let's go ahead and, teleport to... So we're done with the dried up trenches. We can maybe go back here. Yeah, I think what we want to do is go to the parking garage and take the big ol' hole. Maybe. We'll find out. One thing I like about this game as compared to Souls is that when you die, you don't like lose health or anything. That's something I really don't like on Dark Souls. Is like now you're cursed, or not cursed, but like now you're hollowed, so you don't have as much health. I mean, I do like Dark Souls a lot, but
The heart of the city.
that's cool.
Totally abandoned.
Oh, was it B? No. Y? Yeah. That's my heavy. No, B. Okay, how'd you miss that? How beefy her attacks are, though. Crazy. Oh. You startled me, dude. Don't do that. Don't do that anymore. Yeah, I mean, I only did this for one session the other day. And it's been since Saturday, so gotta refamiliarize myself with a couple things. I'm not yeah, I was about to say I'm not convinced that connected. Also, I missed an item here before.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's true. Good God.
You have to use every tool you have, right?
Right.
That's one parade I don't want to join.
Well, we're gonna do it. Except we got dudes behind us too. So you gotta be careful. That like stunned me for quite a while there. It's redonkulous. Oof. Oof.
That took some effort. It's a new section. Which way should we go?
There we are. Okay. Let's finish him off. I like it. I don't trust you. Or you. Or you. Okay. My effort didn't matter much there. Got it. So this is what I was thinking about here with the hole. Could descend.
Don't push me or anything.
Okay. If you were listening right before I said okay, there's like a little knocking sound. And I kept hearing that and wondering, am I hearing something in real life?
And watch where you put your feet.
Does this work now?
Looks like that.
No, I think I know what I have to do. However, we can try descending by dropping, but I might lose my haze.
I'm on my way.
Basically, what I was thinking is do this, and then if I don't see a clean way to drop, I could also just warp out. But I think we'll have
It's a long way down.
I think we'll have clean drops if I'm cautious. Or not. Oh, but I can cheese.
Thanks.
I forgot about that. I can cheese with the way the revive system works. It's not working, but I bet it does now. Is there a missile over here? Yeah, that frame rate. Oof. Can't believe I didn't make that drop. This reminds me of the thing near No Man's Wharf in Dark Souls 2. Yeah, and this is the area I've been anticipating for a bit.
Just cut straight through the mist. It'll take a bit more than that to keep us from getting lost.
Let's take a break here.
Oh, this? It's called onigiri. It's a kind of food that's easy to carry around. Not that there's any point in eating food for a revenant. Although we may thirst for blood, we never grow hungry. Still, I think that makes eating all the more meaningful for us. We fight. We drink blood. We revive. We fight some more. Our lives are pretty much one endless loop. But every time you go around, you almost forget that we were all human once. If I completely lost the memory of my human past, I wouldn't be me anymore. I would just be something in the shape of me. I'd look like a revenant, but on the inside I'd be no different than the lost. What's the point of living like that? I served in the army, back before I became a revenant. We always used to eat these things when we were out on missions. I guess it helps me remember. It was a miserable time, but I made some good friends that I shouldn't let myself forget. This stuff doesn't really taste that great, but eating it always reminds me of those friends. So, I guess you could say it helps me stay me. It's been an important companion in my life.
Okay, all set. Come on, let's get going. There's a blood spring up ahead. Be careful not to lose your bearings, all right? If we get split up in this mist, we may never be able to find each other again.
See, I want to comment on something because they did a thing that I kind of hate. Maybe I'm too critical, but you hear this a lot in games. There's dialogue just a moment ago.
It looks like it works. Want to try?
Oh yeah, we can use this to help guide our way, I think. Yeah, it'll serve to brighten your way. They do this in a lot of games, so this isn't the only game to do it, and maybe I'm overly critical, but his line where he said, although we may thirst for blood, we don't grow hungry. I don't know if that's exactly what he said, but the way he said it to me was like, why are you saying this? Like, we're all revenants, we all know that we don't get hungry. They're saying it for the player.
I'll be right there.
I always kind of hate when, in a game, they explain something for the sake of the player that the characters should know.
Civilization should be great.
Bye. Oh! Yeah, I've always kind of been bothered by that. Like I said, you do hear it all the time, though. But it just rubs me the wrong way.
Elevators really are marvels, aren't they? Watch your step. If you slip, there's no coming back.
So what I could do is go here. And is this where I fell before?
I'm on my way.
Just run off. Oh, dude, that was even worse. It doesn't even give me a death screen or anything.
Oh, you're back.
Oh, now I gotta go back. Which means dealing with the elevator.
We might need to change something.
Oh, change what? What do you mean? Oh, look at the minimap. There's some blinking people icons for quests.
can rest a bit.
I should do the Dark Souls thing of sending the elevator back down. So the light attack is actually the overhead, which is interesting. You want to come in here? A little less lonely this time. Alright, so how am I going to do this?
Don't get too close to the edge.
Not like that. Well. There it goes. Just lost all of it. And I forgot to send the damn elevator down. It's only about 10,000. But still, that sucks.
Are you okay?
I think that's the first time I've actually lost some in the playthrough. There is another route we could take.
Light reaches from the hole above.
Back up near the butterfly boss, maybe? I don't know if that one's open yet.
Missed. There.
Nice. So let's explore this a little bit.
Lantern in mind.
I wanted to see if there were any other things I could drop down to.
Who knows?
Oh yeah, I forgot. These guys remind me of the insect dudes from Dragon Ball Z. There's that planet of like insect dudes or whatever that Vegeta and Nappa destroy. Ooh, and they give me upgrade materials. So see, that's what we just lit. That burning flame there. So you could use it to help keep your
Looks like we can go up
bearings.
here.
Don't trust them.
Enemy is nearby.
There we are. We got a vestige.
The whole place is swarming with horrors. We need to get out of here fast.
Huh? Is that really? Good. Now we have something to mark our way.
So yeah, number 2. I want to know where the fuel for that is coming from. It's just like,
I was about to suffocate.
who's maintaining it? Oh, you're not a slime. Oh, you hurt. And also, we can't run very fast there. Okay. I thought it was a slime just kind of covered in the water. Speaking of, I think I hear some.
Place again? We have to stay calm.
So I don't feel like I fully explored back here.
Came from over there, so we should go.
I mean, maybe I did, but we have a, yeah, we have a whole section here I didn't look at. A dagger.
Could we use that lantern as a waymark?
You mean the like gas burner thing? I don't know if I'd call it a lantern.
We hope we don't get attacked here.
Oh, hello. Oh, he's not coming this way. He's focusing on her. Oh, never mind. Now he's focusing on me as I swing. So the deeper water really sucks. So basically I have to sprint to do anything useful. I think I saw another one. I saw something, it might have been rubble, but... Ooh, satisfying. I like that.
You have to use every tool you have, right?
The hell do we use a stun cartridge for? Queen iron? Nope, plasma cartridge. I think I saw another item too. Mia trying to get that kill though.
Is it something nice?
Alright, so this is gonna loop back closer to some of the other areas we've checked out. We'll go there in a moment because there's still stuff back here. Okay, if you want to fight, like, if you want to take care of this thing, go ahead and do it. I just didn't feel like going down there and dealing with it. You made it easy.
It's hard to walk.
Yeah, I don't like this. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. I don't know how I did that. I tried to... Oh. How have I never found that? Nice. So hold sprint and do light attack and I get that. Sprint and heavy attack is like the uppercut thing. Oh, I forgot about this. These are like the dudes in a medieval. The mines in a medieval or whatever. Ow. Or they're like bone wheel skeletons. Either way, I don't like them. Oh, there's more. Oh, there's two more. At least two more. Alright, what's up? Where'd that other one go? There's one. I see something purplish glowing over there too. What you drop? No wake.
Look, do you see that?
I do. I also see lots of enemies. So if I'm actually sprinting, I get something else, right? I just get an attack.
That wasn't bad at all.
Alright, this is just for maps. But that'll help me ensure that everything is explored.
Attacked here.
Ah, that's a big old boy. That's a big range. Oof. Come on, Mia. Hit it. Kill it. I will totally let you do it for me. Think I care? That thing hurt. I could tell just by looking at the map that this is going to be leading to something. Because it like funnels you in.
Find.
Optimal for melee combat. Features gifts that are great for surprise attacks. The assassin. Anything down here on the floor? In the water? Floor? Whatever. Not looking like it. Oh, my leg.
Can't go ahead on your own.
My leg is killing me today. Feels a bit like sciatica, which comes and goes for me. But it is killing me today. I don't know why. Just out of nowhere. But I didn't change anything up. I didn't change anything up that would affect my leg.
It's hard to walk.
I should say it that way. Alright, who's gonna be waiting over here? I don't trust it. Oof.
Generation level all right?
I mean, it's as alright as it's gonna be. Really? There's still another one. That might have attracted him too.
We don't have
What's
to be
going on,
shown right
Tusk?
now.
I swear I saw another one. I even hear it.
We hope we don't get attacked here. We'll put that to good use.
There you go. Yeah, get knocked. Get knocked back. Bastard. Alright, I gotta backtrack to that spot there and get the item that was left. And there's still stuff I haven't explored over here. I mean, we can take a look at the mini-map. There's a lot of stuff I haven't explored. Oh no! No! Okay. That wasn't good. I didn't notice that second one until it was too late.
Lost that's like an insect. What happened to it?
That other one seems like it's on us. Well, maybe not. I heard it make a sound. Oh, he's just doing whatever. Okay. What have you been up to today, man? Mr. Tusk. That was goofy looking. I'm okay. I mean,
We could get a look around from here.
the whole leg thing I was just mentioning a minute ago with my leg hurting, but okay for the most part, I guess. Oh wait, that's bad. Okay, good. There we are. That's bad because I realized after I started the attack, like, oh yeah, I can't knock this one down. We could light up another thing. What kind of chips, man?
It's no good.
That's a marvelous
Might
find.
have gotten out, but there's too many of them.
It definitely is hard to walk. We'll try to be okay, though. We'll try to push. Gotta knock that guy down as quickly as possible. Where was Mia there, huh? See another one right here. That's satisfying. I don't have any other healing options. But if I can knock these guys down, they're pretty easy to take care of. As long as I'm not being surrounded.
We'll put that to good use.
Alright, I think we're probably close enough to have discovered anything over there, hopefully.
We hope we don't get attacked here.
Same Mia, though. I feel that. I am just trying to survive.
I'll be right there. We've been here before.
Here we have. I'm watching the breadcrumbs on the mini map.
We hope we don't get attacked here.
Dude, it would suck walking through this. Like waist deep water.
Go ahead on your own.
Oh, nasty doo-doo water. You know this stuff isn't clean.
Let's stick together so we don't get separated.
Alright, so that's back to the start, isn't it? Hmm.
It's hard
Well,
to walk.
if that's the case, I might as well rest.
Could we use that lantern as a waymark? I can barely see in front of my nose. Phew, we can finally.
Alright, what is
relax.
my haze like? 24 grand?
Let's stick together.
I'll have to kill a few extra enemies again now, but it's okay. I see that. Where is he? Get knocked down. What'd you think you were gonna do, bitch? Alright, let's go this way. Feel like it is currently the most promising.
Something's moving.
Oh, we have these two. There we go. We've already turned this one on.
You have to use every tool you have.
But this
right?
is around where I was thinking about moving forward from, I think. No, this is actually really close to the start
I'll just
again.
keep an eye out while you're busy.
No, I think this will work though. This guy's dumb. This guy's really dumb. Yeah, because this here is back at the
I
start.
can barely see in front of my nose.
Like, we could literally just walk back to the start from here, so that's interesting. Okay. But then I think there maybe are other routes. Maybe not. Maybe this way is a bust. Haven't really been here, so this is new. I see an item up in front as well. There's a lot of poison bros.
Them. Chills down my spine. So many.
The fact that they drop consumable haze is interesting to me. I mean, even some medium ones, they're not like crazy good, but it's not just like the shittiest version. What is that? You.
There. We'll put that to good use. What is that over there? I don't like tight spaces like this.
It looks like another vestige thing. Oh, it's a rotten missile. Good, that'll help us explore the map further. One of the insect bros. Oh. Glad I caught that in time. Would have really sucked to have this other guy bearing down on us at the same time. You know what? Looks like we have another spot that may be heavily guarded. You look at the minimap, that little enclosed circle here. Looks like there might be an item in there. Or something. No idea what it actually is going to be. Last time it was a big fat dude that could deal heavy damage. And a vestige thing, I think. Mia, you could be attacking a little bit sometimes. Jeez. Leaving it all up to me, aren't you? Like when she does, and she uses that range stuff especially, massive, massive damage, but sometimes this is like, why aren't you doing anything? Alright, oh yeah, yep, there they are. Alright, that worked out. I basically cheesed it into not being able to attack for a while, like it just got stun, or not stun locked, but animation locked.
There are friends. I won't ignore them.
Huh? Is that really?
Yeah, we went into that combo, and I'm just like, I'm gonna let you do that combo. I think Mia did some attacks, and then, you know, I saw an opening and went for it. Almost took some damage, though, despite that.
Attacked here.
Because I did the charge, it took a long time. Now, let's take a look at the map. Not that many unexplored areas that we actually see on the map. That's good and bad. It's good in terms of, it means I could start moving into more unexplored areas, but bad in that I like to know where I'm going. Region extension factor, you know, I'll take that. So now I can do 6 heals every time I die. Or just every time I, like, use a missile. Gets me up to 6. Huh. The thing on the map is bothering me a bit. Because it's still telling me, like, where my haze would be at, but I have no haze. That's an empty blood stain, basically. Fall damage is no joke. Oh. That was a little rough. We made it. I think she maybe took some damage. I didn't take any.
It's every tool you have, right?
Old world materials. Just doing that to get the breadcrumbs there and make sure no items are hiding.
Don't get attacked here.
Alright, so here is... There's clearly stuff where you can see off the map. A little bit of pain. Stop it! Hit you so hard you fly toward me. Fuck physics.
I don't like tight spaces like this.
No comment there, I guess.
We were mauled to death by horrors after the Great Collapse.
Huh? Is that really?
Yep, it is. Oh, is there a bunch of enemies up here or something? No. I don't think you're an enemy, but I still don't trust you.
Are you kidding me, Yakumo?
We got the Atlas vestige. We have actual missile here. Oh, we have a movie. Because we're at a blood spring. Did the game crash? Oh. Put that tussin on it, right?
All right, I'm currently tracing the spring's flow. Just hold on, give me a moment.
Wait, what's going on here?
We have to go back to the old city ruins. There must be something we missed there. Anyway, let's get going.
You look familiar.
Searching for blood beads on your own? That's awfully bold.
Listen, no one here wants this to turn violent, so just hand over your blood beads.
What if we don't want to?
Then I'll take them.
You're too late.
It's a babby.
A kid?
Get away from Mia! Nicola! What are you doing out here? Because you...
He's on the verge of a frenzy. That's why you want the blood beads, isn't it?
If you lay a finger on him, I'll carve out your heart.
Here, take this. That's for him. Give it to him quick.
No! You haven't had anything to drink, Mia. Don't be silly. Go on. It's for you.
We didn't want to animate that.
The symptoms aren't fading. Why?
It's not enough, that's all. I just have to find more for him.
Hey, come on. Going out on your own is crazy.
Thanks for your concern, but we'll be all right. Come on, let's go.
So, I don't think...
Yeah, I know. Let's go after them.
Yeah, so there's Mia, who we've had
Like
this
I
entire
even care
time.
about that.
And of course, the reasoning behind it is because I kind of pulled her in as like a DLC thing, like an a free. I don't know if it's free. No, I think I got like the season pass version of the game. Whatever it is, I pulled her in because of that, so I didn't have to go through and like, you know, wait until she's actually a character in the game. It's just like, here you go. You can just use this character. That's also why she's more powerful than maybe you would expect. She has shortcomings, right? But like her range stuff is really powerful.
This lever might be our ticket.
What are you doing?
I see. A clever contraption.
I have no idea what I did. I feel like things are gonna climb up. Here's some sounds that I don't like.
That was a
Like, this feels like a trap. That item really felt like a trap.
Want to try for an ambush?
Where? You? Oh. No! Oh my god. Rusted sluice key. Cool. Well, you know, I'm just gonna say let's rest again. I have no idea if that did anything, if that resets something or what. It didn't seem to make any sound that time. Yeah, let's just rest because I took more damage than I would like there. How much do I need to level up? Damn it. Oh, so close. To the point where if I can fight that guy again, I'll do it and then just level up real quick. Wow. Ooh, that was bad. I tried to roll around and I did a bad job of it. I wish this would heal you. That'd be nice. Actually, that guy's good for grinding if you really wanted to. If you wanted to grind levels right now. He's worth over 1,000 and I only need like 6,000 something to heal. Pretty quick to just run back and forth and get that kill over and over. Yeah, 7,000. So I have to do it 7 times, you know. It's not great, but easy enough. Very, very, very low risk.
Looks pretty tough to me.
Yeah, we could just ignore him this time. I guess this is what the sluice key? Yeah, it is. That's gonna lower some water.
That makes it easier to get around. That gives us an easier way to walk.
Yes, it does.
You have to use every tool you have, right?
Hey, buddy. See, why did Mia not do another attack that whole time I was charging? Okay, see, that's good. See, she finished it off, too. Yoink. Oh. Oh. Alright, if we could just, yeah, let her finish this dude off. That's good with me. Less work for me. What in the name of Zeus's butthole is that? And can I knock it down? I cannot. Good to know. Oh, I thought I was getting the backstab on it. I don't want to be near it. As I get near it and pay the price. Yo, that dude can move. Oh, you can knock him down. I just got very unlucky when I did it. I caught him in an animation where I couldn't knock him down.
What could that be? That key might come in handy.
I was about to say, it could be something very good if that thing was guarding it. I would say a key is very good. Let's just progress. So now I'm kind of in the mindset that I would like to heal again before progressing too much, or rest at the missile, or trying to do a boss or something. Just given how much damage I took a minute ago. Is this the eagle key? It is, and that's actually good. I see a red thing, a vestige.
It's hard to walk.
Yeah, it's really hard to walk. And I can't get to the vestige. It's from another side. Which is just right here. I don't trust this. I feel like I'm about to get ambushed.
Some mean ones out there, huh? Lost over there.
Yo, can I cheese? Moss-covered key. But it gave it to me. I didn't pick it up, it just gave it to me. How odd. Is this an invasion?
Those bastards eat any damn thing in front of them.
That's a marvelous find. I'll be right there.
So I'm thinking this is the Eagle Key door. I didn't finish exploring out here. There may not be much, but I want to wrap up one thing at a time. Just want to feel like I've covered all my bases, fill in the breadcrumbs. This is where that big weird dude was at. So yeah, it looks like I was done over here, but it's worth checking. In that case, let's go rest. Let's go rest at the missile.
The Lost, right by us.
You know what? Yeah, we should fight it. Because we're about to go rest anyway, so we should just do this. I hit the wrong one. Oof. Heal me. Yeah, I'd hit the wrong one and everything just fell apart from there. But I was also careless because I was going to heal. I was going to rest. Level up as well because we got enough.
Let's take a little break.
Dude, my leg is killing me. I might go take a BC powder, which is basically just aspirin. Maybe it'll help. I took one earlier when I thought I was getting a headache. I'm just falling apart, apparently. Not trying to sound like everything's wrong. It's just today's one of those... I mean, headaches, that's just a thing. Like, whatever. I get them all the time and they suck, but that is what it is. The leg thing is like, whoa. Again, it feels like sciatica,
Get attacked here.
which comes and goes. I'll get it bad for like a few weeks,
This is narrow.
and then it just like goes away. We tricked them into rolling off. No, but I can trick them into dying. I was waiting on him to do his sonic spin thing. Oh, can't interrupt that. Well, that's terrible.
We'll put that to good use.
I hear noises, yeah. It's a lot of slimes. Oh no, that's not a slime. Yeah, there's still an enemy there. Attack it before it gets up and attacks us. A prayer shawl 3. +3. Is this what the, what was it? Moss one? Yeah, moss covered key. Hey, buddy.
There.
Looked like that guy picked up the pace for a second. I thought he was on the way to throw down. See that? Very Dark Souls strategy. You get close and they don't know how to deal with you. It's not, it doesn't always work, but in a lot of, it gets you through a lot of situations. I was so close that he couldn't track me on that attack. I feel like I just heard something. Also, Queen Steel, I was just thinking about it. I don't know if we got any earlier, but I was thinking the next ingredient was steel. Actually, we saw a mention of it once already. Bye. We saw a mention because it's the next ingredient we need for our weapons.
It was you, wasn't it, Yakumo? You're the one that stopped our trade.
Nice. So Yakumo's done some ish. He's a pretty good natured dude. Also, that thing he was eating, I always I would always see those because it's a Japanese thing. They'd show up in like anime and some games and stuff. And I've still never seen one in real life. He called it onigiri. I mean, I don't know if it's just a translation or if that's just the name of the food or if it actually has a meaning. But I had people tell me they were called rice balls. And it looked like it. It literally looked like nothing but rice. With that, like, paper around it or whatever. Like, it seems like such a simple food, but I would eat it. I like rice. Come on. Anti-slow. Oh my god! That man went flying all over the damn place. I see you. We're missing potential loot, but very easy, quick kills. You're different. You're a big boy. Go for it, Mia. The hell? He's getting jacked. I can get jacked too. Alright, what you guarding? Is this gonna be like a potato or something?
We'll put that
Nope.
to good use.
Honey Maruko. Mukuro. I'm not going to the boss, am I? No, good. It's another one of these. I might be going toward the boss. There's two routes here. I wanted to find some missile first.
To walk.
Why? Don't worry. It'll be
Stop! Nicola!
I feel like this is the boss. No, but this is Rotten Missile. This is the kind that just gives the map. And that's a boss room, yeah. Alright, I'm not going there yet. I want to finish exploring. So we clearly missed another missile back here, but I also haven't finished exploring. So there's no big deal. There we are.
We might be lost.
No.
Now we can rest a little.
This is real missile too, so it can heal us. So I see no reason not to go ahead and... Okay, actually... No, there's... I'm gonna wait before I rest.
So complicated. There.
I was afraid of that. I would help if I could, but it's too far away. See how slow I'm walking, Mia. My bad.
Is it something nice?
Ailer. Alright, so, there was one little spot on the map that I didn't have a lot of breadcrumbs on. So I want to backtrack and check that out. Because there could be items there. Maybe not. But there could be something there. Especially this room here. Okay, no. I probably wouldn't have come back if I realized how this room looked. It's pretty obvious there's nothing there. Alrighty. Yeah, it works for me though. But I wanted to do that before resting so it wouldn't spawn more enemies. You know, I mentioned that BC powder. I think I'm gonna go take one here in a moment, but the one thing I hate about it, it has caffeine. Caffeine is the devil.
I hope we don't get attacked here.
If it helps, it helps. Like, caffeine actually does help headaches.
So our exploration is going okay?
My understanding is it does something to like the capillaries in your brain or whatever.
You can't go
That's what I was told.
wrong.
Maybe it's wrong. But, I don't know. I'll go with it. Because caffeine's in a lot of headache medicine. Because I assume it probably works, otherwise they wouldn't put it in there. But it could also be a cultural thing. Because so many people drink coffee all the time, they have caffeine addictions, or dependencies rather. They have caffeine dependencies, and they may not realize it, so when they get a headache, they take medicine, it gives them caffeine, and it helps because their body's no longer craving it. Oh, it's this dude.
Damn it. Where'd he run off to? These ashes are the boys. Something's coming.
It's another naked lady. No, not every boss. But this one is... no. Okay, it pretty much is. What the hell? Oh, she's got a stripper pole. Okay. That's her weapon. Alright, let's do it. Invading Executioner. I was gonna say it's a bad move, but it actually wasn't. Oh! I am shocked I did not get hit by that. Oh, there we go. Big beefy damage. Oh, there we go. Can I do it? Yo, I beat Stripper Lady without taking a hit. Get wrecked. Invading Executioner, my ass. I was aggressive too. I was running low stamina and everything.
Damn it.
Kind of surprised by that. This is the core that the boy left behind. Oh, right. We're special. We have main character syndrome, so we can actually do this, but it, like, basically kills other people, doesn't it? And then we go to his memories.
Mia, I'll be back.
Sorry, but it's time.
You shouldn't sleep so late, you know.
You timed that very carefully. That boss went exceptionally well. Wow.
She's gonna be mad at me.
Haven't done any grinding or anything yet.
Once you're in there, you're in forever. Are you really sure?
You're in forever.
I'm sure. I want to keep Mia safe.
What the, hold on. Hold on.
You have a noble spirit, Nikolai.
Who the fuck is Jack? Why is this little boy like, I want to protect Mia, and Jack is like, alright, when you do this, it's forever. You sure, little boy? Who's clearly not old enough to make that kind of a decision? I love the crunchy sound of snow when you're walking on it like this. I don't get to hear that much in real life because it doesn't snow much here. Is Mia here? No?
I think that memory was
Oh, she's
from the
knocked
boy.
out.
What exactly was going on? A snowy mountain. Is something there? think that memory was a snow.
You saw who was there with the kid, right? How do you think those two know each other? What the hell is going on? You saw who was what?
Jack. Have I forgotten Jack? I'm so sorry if I have. It's been a few days, and I'm like, I was just barely getting into it the other day, like, in terms of the story and progress and all that. Hasn't stuck with me yet.
Damn. She's losing herself.
Starting the game on a Saturday was a little more,
Then we're going back to base.
not difficult, but starting the game on a Saturday meant I didn't have as much time to like form the connections, to like form the memories.
Mia,
Nicola, are you there?
I'll be back.
Wait, let me go with you.
You shouldn't sleep so late, you know.
Where?
We're not in Kansas anymore.
Where am I?
The negative zone.
Nicola. Wait!
I want to keep Mia safe.
Don't go, Nicola!
Silence.
A dream?
Oh, that's I forgot her name. That's the weapon lady. Is it Masamune? Why not?
But that means...
Oh, she's gonna see that ice thing there? Yeah. Snow Mountain.
this place...
What exactly is going on here anyway? Why does every blood vein we find lead back to the old city ruins?
The key to finding the source is there. That's all I can say for certain.
Sure, but we've been everywhere we can...
Try here. You know the statue of the goddess in the ruins? There's a mechanism inside of it.
Yeah, that's the route I was talking about.
I see. So that's our ticket.
Hey, are you sure you should be up and about?
Yeah, it's okay. Sorry for causing you so much trouble. I'm fine now. I hope I'll get a chance to repay you.
That information is more than enough.
There's a favor I'd like to ask. I'd like you to tell me how to get here. Please, it's really important to me. I'll pay you back, I promise.
I'd love to tell you, if I knew.
I'm not sure of the path there myself. Other than that, it's sealed off by my asthma.
Then how do you know?
I see. Sorry, I don't mean to make demands of you.
It's not impossible, though. We were able to pass through the miasma. Thanks to our friend here.
If you decide to stay with us, I'm sure we'll find the way to your snowy mountain eventually.
Of course, you would need to help us out with our objective first.
I'm glad to do whatever you need me to. As long as I end up reaching my destination.
We have a deal. Good to have you along.
Likewise.
Well, great. I guess that's settled then. You are now officially one of our friends.
Friends?
I'm Yakumo. This brainiac here is Louis. And... Huh? Where'd Murasame and Io get to?
Murasame.
I mean, if that's okay.
It is.
Actually, I don't think we've gotten your name yet.
The subtitles told us. Come on, Louis.
Oh, I'm Mia Karnstein, and I'm good in a fight if you guys ever need the help.
Yeah, you sure did a number on Yakumo.
Seriously, that really hurts. Glad to have you on our side, Mia.
Alright, is that it? Nope. Oh, it's Io and her huge, gigantic eyes.
There. That mountain of gear has been conquered.
What is that camera angle?
Everyone's stuff is fixed up and ready to go.
Oh, you're an angel, Murasame. Sorry we're always piling up the work on you.
Well, you'll find the source for sure this time, right? I look forward to hearing your report when you get back.
Look at all this stuff. Did you gather it yourself?
Oh, you're feeling better. That's great.
Good
I was
Lord.
worried about you. Hey, you and I are about the same age, aren't we? We're gonna be besties, I can tell.
She's like that with everyone. Just smile and nod and it'll be fine.
Now, those aren't for you, Io. We wouldn't want you to get hurt.
That's right. No need to rush recklessly into battle. There are people waiting for us at home after all.
Just look how big her eyes are.
Well, where would we be?
Yeah, see that? She looked right at the camera. Right after I said it.
Giacomo looks sad.
Give me a break. And don't look at me like that. It's no big deal, okay? My friends are important. They're like family to me. My friends were all scattered after the Great Collapse. I don't even know if any of them survived. But every time we go somewhere new, I keep an eye out for them. Anyway, I count myself lucky. I went through some really nasty rejections back when I became a revenant. Honestly, I was right on the brink of losing myself.
And that's when Louis came
It
along.
was my friends that pulled me back, kept me safe. Bunch of sentimental fools.
Yeah, there's Coco. She also has
Keep
big
them safe,
eyes.
no matter what happens. That's how much my friends mean to me. And now I've got 3 more sheep to look after. A man's work is never done. So just don't worry about it.
Well, you're in awfully high spirits.
What do you mean?
Normally, you've got eyes like a dead fish. But now, you actually seem alive for once. I'm just glad you found some friends to cheer you up.
Friends. I suppose you're right.
You heard those strings there for a second? It sounded like the intro to Final Fantasy VII.
It looks like everyone has gone to rest. It seems more cheerful here now. The atmosphere has brightened a lot since we first came. You have the strength to overcome any obstacle in your path. A curious individual indeed.
Is something the matter?
Recently, I've been puzzled. If it is possible, I want to stay with you, just like the others. I think a lot about how I would like to come with you and help to make a difference. But it cannot be. I am unable to fight, so I would only put you in danger. I have to continue doing what I must. That much I am sure of. But there's something that confuses me. It's a strange sensation that wells up from within me. What is it?
Frustration.
It could be. I'm not sure. It's a feeling as though something is pushing me.
I get it too, I am frustrated. I spent all day trying to figure out how do you put a square peg into a round hole. Still haven't figured it out. Pretty frustrated. What's up, Mia?
Sorry for coming out of nowhere with crazy requests. And thanks. First, check out the statue in the old city ruins. I saw some of the government soldiers moving through there. That should put you on the right track. I didn't imagine a place like this. It's rough, but everyone here is kind in some way or another. I always figured that anywhere people gathered was automatically vile.
Alrighty.
You know,
Tusk, what was that thing you were talking about earlier with the streamer or whatever? What do you mean? Before I continue on, I'm gonna go top off on water and stuff and take some medicine to see if it helps my leg from not hurting. So give me a couple of minutes, I'll be right back. We'll continue on. Alrighty. Yep, that all checks out, Tusk. And, yeah, if you send me that video, I'll check it out later, but definitely not now. And you wouldn't, like, you wouldn't see me checking it out anyway if I did pull it up. So let's talk to a couple people here real quick before we get back out into the field.
So, Louis seems to think awfully highly of you. If you want, you can use my blood code too.
Yes.
Don't get the wrong idea. You're one of my best customers, and I want you to keep coming back. I consider this an investment.
I haven't bought anything from you yet. What do you mean one of your best customers? What did I unlock? Mercury allows for safe exploration with its balanced stats and gifts related to stamina and haze. I like the sound of that. Nobody over there. You're just a regular person. You're a human. Oops.
You saved me back in town, and now I live at the shelter you told me about.
And why are you here?
I have to donate blood regularly, but they give me food, a place to live, and clean clothes. I can sleep without fear of revenants or the lost. To me, it seems quite luxurious. I have a much better life now, thanks to you.
Alright, what about you?
Thanks to everyone's hard work, I can offer new weapons. Take a look if you'd like. I know it's a bother, but I'll need you to bring the nest. There's a shortage of pretty...
Upgrade, weapon.
What do you want to upgrade?
Can I upgrade this Zweihander? Sure. Let's do it.
Okay.
There's something I want to give you now that we have the chance. My blood code. That way I can keep helping you out even if I'm not around, right?
Cool.
It's a symbol of trust. Go on, take it.
Atlas allows for the use of heavy armor, great for enduring close quarters combat. What about you?
Yes, this is a map of the depths. If you want to go to this location, tell me, and I'll guide you there. There are rumors around of a revenant attacking other revenants. Foolish to turn on your own kind like that. The government is considering taking action with regards to this so-called hunter. Don't do anything senseless.
Tusk says it's 2 o'clock.
Greatest asset.
It is 1919 here. Oh yeah, you could change your appearance. I don't think there's anything else for me to do right now. Let's get back out there into the field. Can I level up? It does look like an ant to me. Yeah, you put the semicolon dash semicolon thing. To me, it looks like you're looking at an ant, like face on. Like the two like dangly parts of the semicolons are like the fangs or whatever, right? I don't know. That's what my brain interprets that as. I don't know. So legitimately, the first time I ever saw that, I did not know what it was supposed to mean. Like, I was like, what is that? I didn't know it was supposed... How was I supposed to know, right? If my brain saw an ant... I know this isn't the right way, but I want to kill these guys. If my brain saw an ant, how was I supposed to know it was supposed to mean crying? And I was just like, why did you send me an ant? Or like, what is that? No! They parried me. But I got away anyway. Got away anyway because I'm just that damn good. Are you asking if I knew what OWO means? I still don't entirely. I don't think so. Is it just like wide eyes? I don't know. Oh, there we go. So this is the other route I was talking about earlier, but we couldn't go until after beating those depths or whatever. Not depths, but the nasty watery place.
I'm on my way.
But I did point this route out quite a while back, like around the time we got to that first boss, or that second boss, that lady. Butterfly.
So, every spring we've found so far leads back to here. Come on, let's head in. The source can't be far off.
The source of what? Madness! No. That was just a dumb reference to a game I just beat. I have never ever seen OMO before. That's a new one for me.
Let's find the source as soon as we can.
If you're wondering why I took that strange route that I just did, I was just filling in the breadcrumb trail. Ah, that stuttering there hurt the hell out of my, like, it made my eyes unable to focus and just, like, bothered me. This game has problems with that when you're going between areas. It is Unreal Engine. And Unreal Engine, I thought, would offload a lot of the work on loading different zones. I think that's why this hallway is so long. If you're on console, it probably masks the loading a bit better.
I don't think we've been up there.
I don't think I've seen that one either, no.
I'll be right there.
Yeah, it's Anor Londo. I mean, yeah. Area F-15, Cathedral of the Sacred Blood. I didn't remember this place being so early in the game. This place is confusing as fuck. I do remember this.
What's that back there?
Where? What? You just commenting on the scenery or what? This place is wild.
Crater. What could have made it?
Wait, what crater? Let's activate the missile. Oh. Oh, we're in a crater. Oh. Okay. So this place has just been here. He's Tuss said Cathedral of the Deep. I mean, Anor Londo. Shit, never mind.
I see Lost way over there.
So do I.
I don't think we're welcome here. There.
Oh, can't knock you down, apparently. Oh! How many attacks do you need? They're worth like 2,000. Yeah, this place, I do remember this place taking me a bit to get through. It's very confusing. There's a lot of drop-off points. Very difficult to navigate, basically. What a dumbass. And some very difficult moments. I do very distinctly remember an invasion that happens in here that killed me a handful of times before I beat it. Castle of Dragon's Peak? Oh, you mean,
You have to use every
Dragon Airy?
right? It won't open. Let's try to find another way.
Yeah, in Dark Souls 2.
You fall, that's all she wrote.
Who wrote it? Who is she? Why do we care what she wrote? Yeah, Dragon Airy is really cool. There's a real place that looks a lot like that. It's in China. Oh, we gotta do with their titties out over here. Well, it looks like we gotta fight them. Let's get it over with.
Evasion is always an option.
No, I don't evade. I attack head on. Wait, or button? What do you mean button? What button? What are we talking about? What, on?
That's a marvelous find.
Yeah, so this is just making my Estus better, if you want to call it Estus. Oh, fight head? Oh my god, I see what you mean now. Dude, I don't hear the stuff I'm saying until you do, and then oftentimes I still don't hear it anyway. I hear it the same time as you do, usually. Ah! You got, buddy. Alright, this is actually really close to the invasion room. Because I remember doing this run over and over. I think this is the invasion room. Yeah, I see the red thing in there. We can maybe give it a try. It was really brutal. I kind of want to clear off some of the other stuff nearby just to do it. You got, buddy. You got. You know, I am working on a project that's not on stream. And I've got the first phase of it done now.
We'll put that to good use.
I'm really excited about it. I want to get started on the second phase tonight. And what I want to do is actually complete it and put this project up as a tool that other people can use. Host it on a website or something where people can use this tool that I've basically built. It could be a lot of fun. There we go. Those are dangerous. At least I feel like they are. Have we looped back to the beginning? I think we have. Yeah. Oh, they dropped me something. How kind.
Ran out of road again.
Old world materials, that's good. So this is back at the beginning now, which is good. That just cuts off a path like I've fully explored. Well, not fully. I've mostly explored some routes now.
Can't go ahead on your own.
I do like that though, because then I'm not worried about like open routes. You picked a very interesting way to die.
I don't think we've opened this yet.
It's locked. You can see in the minimap it's locked.
It won't open. Let's try to find another way.
Can't fool me, game. Alrighty, so we got a couple options. We can go for the invasion room, or we can skip it. Why not make a trail of my own pee? Because I haven't drank that much water yet today. I'm working on it though. Let me drink some more.
I might have to keep you around.
I just know something's about to happen though. Yep, I called it. I was like, I just know I'm gonna get a hydrate. Redeem.
We'll try another path.
I was asking for it with that. I was stalling a little bit there because I also kind of expected a drink one, and I didn't want to put the thing down and then have it happen. But now by saying that, it's going to happen. Tuska's going to be like, oh yeah, I can do a drink as well.
You have to use every tool you have, right?
I do expect sometimes. Expect is better than unwrap. That's a Rust programming
This place
joke.
gets stranger the more I see of it.
Get knocked down? Nope. Okay, so we took a lot of damage there, obviously. Let's pop a heal. Double draped. We'll try to push forward and go for the missile before I do the invasion room. I know I'm hyping it up, but I did die there a bunch the first time I played this game. That's why I remember it so well. And the fact that I've killed so many enemies and made some progress in the environment has me wanting to try to solidify that progress. Or solidify, lock in that progress. Damn it. Nice. You'll teleporting ass. And this seems to be the door that we just went to earlier, because I could see the breadcrumbs on the map. So this is a shortcut. Or not, we're above it. Are we? Or below it? No? I don't recognize this. Oh, yeah, because I was also feeling like we went the wrong direction for that. This is off to... Okay. This is off to the left by where we fought the one with their titties out. Yeah, you could redeem hydrate enough to drown like 25 people. Did you watch that Roller Coaster Tycoon video? I think I sent it to you. And it was like just different ways to kill park guests. And they had some like mass drownings and stuff where they were killing like hundreds or even thousands of people. It was just amusing. Like, everyone that's played that game or seen that game has probably seen the typical stuff where you, like, make a roller coaster fly off and crash. And that's whatever, right? But what I liked is they put this stuff with water, and then they like, stranded people on the little block of land and then lowered it into the water. But then they had, like, just massive chunks of people on there. Ha! You got God. You've got God. Welcome. You've got God. So we have a ladder.
Want to climb down?
Yes. Ooh, but we got a drop, don't we?
So, it's not a dead end after all, is it?
No. I don't trust that there won't be a guy ready to ambush us. When you say this guy, what's his name again? Let's game it out. He says he plays games in bizarre ways. Define bizarre ways. Yeah, Satisfactory, of course. Of course I remember that game. Love that game. Not as much as a certain other factory game, with the word factory basically in its name. But I do really like Satisfactory. What are the things you can't get rid of? What do you mean? Is there like an item in your inventory that you can't get rid of in that game? Is that what you mean? Nothing is coming to mind. Purify rotten missile. He gets like a dog, puts all that terrible radiation garbage on the. Oh, yeah. The radioactive materials. Ah. That's actually not terrible. Get it off of the map, basically. Now, I think we've looped back around to the area I was trying to mention.
Okay, it's open.
Yeah, this is that door I saw earlier. So, this actually puts us right back near the start. We have two different shortcuts to two different points into the area, basically. That's how complex this is. So, we haven't uncovered more missile yet. We've just uncovered two shortcuts to varying places.
What do you think we'll find?
An Impulse Anchor 4. That's what we found, Mia. That's actually not a bad way to get rid of something like that, though. I like it. Kind of like it.
I feel like I'm getting lost.
Do I want to go for it or backtrack to the beginning? Let's backtrack and let's heal up. Let's level up, and then we're gonna try the punishing room, the punish me harder, daddy room, and then we can go back to the shortcut and easily progress when we're ready. But also, before I do it, this is not a way. This is a dead end. This is the dead end. But before I do it, I'm gonna just step away for just a minute to go blow my nose. Because I sneezed a few minutes ago, and it's been bugging me since then. I already sneezed. I kind of feel another one trying to build up, but whatever. I remember like last week or something, DSP, like right at the start of his stream, he sneezed, and he was bitching about it for like the next 3 hours. Like, he's like, that one sneeze, he's like, it messed my throat up, it messed my nose up, it messed this up and that up. He's like, oh my god, a single sneeze? And then for like the next 3 hours, it would be like, this thing is wrong and that thing's wrong, all because I sneezed like 2 hours ago. It's like, what the hell? Alright, I'll be right back. Give me just a moment. No BRB screen. Alrighty, we good now? We've leveled up a bit. Obviously, enemies are now back, but I've got my healing back as well. Let's go. Let's try to do the punishing room.
Lost over there. There's something waiting for us.
How is that not a backstab?
To good use.
Alright, so the easiest way to get there is just going to be this way. And we hang a left. Oh. Okay, I need to actually hit this fucker. There we go. I'm trying to forget that it exists, Tusk. That's the forbidden game. Like, I considered making it a banned word in chat, where the bot would automatically just block a message with that in it. Because I don't want to think about it. well, we've already healed. I mean, for spoilers and everything, like, I don't... So here's the thing, like... Every time I hear about it, it kind of makes me not want to play it, you know? Alright, here's the room. Okay. Dude, I am getting stomped, apparently. Ow. Oh, that... Okay, that apparently didn't count. Here we are. Well, no, I forget about it most times, but I just don't like it being brought up. Like, I'm still of the mindset that it gets too much attention. That it kind of makes me not want to play it, because it's gonna not... It's not gonna live up to the attention, to the hype. Mia coming in clutch there. Alright, I don't trust this big one. Damn it! Alright, that's another one down. No, save Mia! I think I hear another enemy. Might be wrong. Yeah, no, she's doing something, so there's another enemy. Heal me! No. All right. We need to not die. Oh, Mia's fighting someone else, isn't she? Yeah. It's another big one. Damn it, I tried to dodge. I was late. Oh my god. I was about to say, I see another... Yeah, I see more enemies. That's how brutal this place is. Now Mia's been defeated. Shit. Nope. Also, I took a bad route. I don't have any other way to heal right now. There is a better route we can take. And it's probably my death right there. Oh man. Alright, well, we're back at the start here where it's safe-ish. Oh. Not like whatever happens, it's kind of like, okay. Oh, you just got back up. Yep, I died. Alrighty. So I pretty much knew that was gonna happen. That's why I was like, let me get back to the start so I can get my stuff back and let's try again.
How are you doing?
Better than you, because I survived longer.
Back to normal.
What do you mean the game is alive again? What happened? Did I miss something?
There's something waiting for us.
Yeah, as for the other game, like, honestly, I don't know, like, I'm not that interested or excited either way, to be honest. Like, if I play it one day, I'll play it when I get to it, like, it's whatever. But I don't want to spoil it, and I don't want to think about it, like, it's one of those things that I get tired of hearing about all the time, right? So, like, people are still just bringing it up all the time, like, there's no other new games or no other games in general. And I'm like, I don't know, like, that's why I don't like hearing about it, because it's just gonna, I feel like there's too much hype around it, you know?
I think something's up ahead. I don't think we're welcome here.
Damn it, bad dodge on my part. What's kind of hype? Oh, I missed it. I thought I saw Tekken, but it scrolled and I just misread it. Is it Tekken 8? I knew there was another Tekken game, but I didn't know what it was. I don't really follow that stuff.
Hey, I can see the enemy.
Yeah, can I not take stupid damage this time?
There's something waiting for us.
Alright, so the quickest route to get there is actually going to be this way. There are other enemies to keep in mind. Now here we go again. What I can do... You can run out here. Ow. Mia's about to die already. We actually did really well the first... Yeah, Mia's dead. We did really well the first time. Yeah, you lose me with the Chris Pratt stuff. Like, I don't know anything about that. Ow. Ow again. Yeah, you know what? I'm not like... I'm not frustrated or anything by it, but... I'm gonna do this later, because there's just a bit too many enemies for me to want to deal with. We did really well the first time. And then that was a lot of enemies, though. They just kept coming and coming. I want to save this for later. We'll come back when I'm a bit stronger. Yeah, I don't know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy, though. I remember when it came out and people talked about it, I guess, but I don't know anything about that. Why is my watch vibrating? I need to suspend some notifications. This watch is... So it could have been the case with my other watch, but what I did with my other watch is I told it not to... I only told it, these are the applications you can give me notifications from. But really what I should do is take that as a reason to remove notifications from some things. The reason why he's Mario is because he is cool? Like, I don't... Wait, who is cool? Mario or Chris Pratt? I don't understand, like... I don't understand what the big deal is, though. Like, I keep hearing people bring it up, but I don't understand why it matters. Like, if somebody's I don't know, like somebody's voicing a character, I don't understand. It doesn't seem like a big deal to me. What am I missing? Like, if it sounds good, it sounds good. That's all that matters, right? But people keep bringing it up, and I assume it's a controversy. I assume, like, with as much as I've heard people bring, because I don't follow movies, like, you know, I don't care about movies that are coming out or whatever. But as much as I've heard people mentioning this Mario movie, and they're always, every single time I've heard it mentioned, it's been in, they've also talked about Chris Pratt. So, like, that's weird to me, like, there's something going on. I guess it's a controversy, I don't know. But to me, it's like, I don't really care that much if, like, if they do a good job, then it shouldn't matter, right? Let's level up. Looks like I have a gift or something? A present, yeah. From Davis, a single photograph given to you by Davis. It shows you and your friends traveling together. It is said that items made with care are instilled with a small amount of the creator's haze. On the back is a message that reads, I want to thank you for everything you've done. You look good when you're with friends. Those memories are treasures, don't forget them. So there's another person that voices, I still don't, like, I don't know.
Scary.
Just because there is one person who voices doesn't mean somebody else can't. Because the Mario movie is...
Let's try to find another way.
The Mario movie is a standalone thing. It's not like a series. It's not like a franchise of things, right? So what I mean by that is, if you're releasing multiple things that are all part of the same collection, then consistency between those matters.
There might be something here.
But if you're releasing something that's standalone, it could be whatever. That's the way I view it. I mean, so there were people when 7 Remake came out that wanted it to have the same voices as, like, Advent Children. And I'm like, I don't really care. Like, 7 Remake, it's a new thing. It's a remake. They want to pick different people, they can. But also, there were some issues there in that, a lot of the typical voice actors they would use were not available when 7 Remake came out. Or when it was being produced. There was like an actor strike going on at the time in the gaming industry, and so they actually went and found a lot of movie people that were not typical voice actors for games, but that weren't on strike so they could do the work. That's what I understand, at least. And so that gave them a reason to not try to get the traditional voices that may have been associated with those characters 15 years prior. However many years. Okay, this one's dead, right? If I do this, nope, charge.
You have to use every tool you have, right?
Ooh, double steel, I love it. But yeah, if you're releasing, like if they rebooted Halo today, to me, Master Chief wouldn't need the same voice. If they started Halo over from the very beginning, he wouldn't need the same voice. Because it's now a new thing. I saw that extra dude. But if they're trying to be... But if it's Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, those are all part of the same collection. So I think you do need consistency there as much as you can get. I mean, I do think, like, if he wanted to do the role or something, I think it sucks that he didn't get it, Charles, but again, I'm just kind of not as purist about, like, this person should be the voice. Like, I mean, I just advocated for doing Master Chief without, I don't know the voice actor's name, so forgive me, but I just advocated for doing Master Chief with a different voice. So that's a pretty iconic voice too. Oh, this is back where, I think, yeah, this is back where we were a minute ago. There were 2 doors. Behind each door is a rubber nipple salesman, yet to find his true calling in life. Yeah, we see the breadcrumbs. And we see the other door, too, on the minimap.
Okay, it's open.
Well, that's also, yeah, your theory that he's experimenting for retirement. Yeah, if he's been doing this already for over 20 years, there may be other things he wants to do, or, yeah, he may just want to do something else. So if they asked him and he was like, no, then...
Here's an interesting place.
That's also the thing,
You
too.
got sharp eyes.
4 characters. Who are the 4 characters? And that's another thing. Do we know if he was actually asked if he wanted to do the role or not? Because what if he was and he said, no, not this time? Then the people who are, like, actually complaining about it don't really have that much of a leg to stand on. If they asked him about it and he said no. Because that is a possibility. I don't know if we have any info on that, but it's just,
Die here,
you know.
like this. Huh? Is that really?
It is.
Want to head up this ladder?
Oh, yes. Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi. I thought Waluigi was a joke the first time I saw that. I didn't realize that was an actual character. I thought someone was just making up names. Because Wario is already like, okay, whatever, I can accept that. But then Waluigi, I didn't realize Wario was supposed to be a play on Mario. I actually I never made that connection. I know they sounded similar, but I don't do Mario stuff, right? Like, I'm not a Nintendo person in general. So I didn't know it was like, I mean, I still don't know. Is he like an evil Mario, or is he just like a bizarro Mario? I don't know what he's supposed to be. And then I thought, Waluigi, that's not a serious thing. Like, there's no way that's a real character name. And it turned out it is. So we have, that's the ladder we came up on, and there's another ladder. I think we've already used that one then. Okay, just making sure. Wasn't anything new to get to. You know what's interesting is... I don't know what's down there. I don't know what's down there.
We should be okay once we figure out the layout.
Yeah, the layout is only a minor problem, okay? This place is ridiculous. You say it as if it's that simple. Oh, we'll just figure out the layout, then we're good. Yeah, good luck. Damn it, I tried to get a second roll in, it didn't go through. I don't know if I think my stamina was out.
We'll put that to good use. We should be okay once we figure out the layout.
Look at that right there, that's our target. Anor Londo looking castle. Tusk, you said you knew about this game. Have you played this, or have you seen this game before? Like, have you seen a playthrough of this game, or is this the first time you're actually watching like full gameplay? I was like, do I have enough room? I didn't really look too closely the first time I used one. Oh, you've seen this. So it's your first time watching, but you knew of this castle, so... I did not. When I played it, I knew nothing other than this is waifu souls. Ooh, more missile.
Let's take a breather before we go on.
Yeah, let's do that. You had zero interest in this game? Is there a reason? I was actually always interested in this because it was like waifu souls. I was like, oh, let me check it out. And I liked the game more than I thought I would. I went into it, you know, I wanted to like it, don't get me wrong, but I went into it thinking it was going to be clunky or not fun or something, or feel like too much of a ripoff, but it does a lot of things that feel unique and actually differentiate it from Dark Souls. In a positive way. So I really enjoyed it a lot more than I expected to. And I enjoyed it enough that I've been wanting to replay it, and that's why we're here. You know what? We've been here wherever we're at. There's breadcrumbs all over here on the minimap. I mean, I don't think I'd say hack and slash. Like, it's a lot like Souls in the sense of you have light and heavy attacks and all that with your weapon. I mean, mechanically, there's a lot of very, very similar things, but I mean, part of what it does to differentiate itself is how you have the different blood codes, and you have unique behavior tied to each blood code, and you can change them in and out. No, I mean, it's more of a Souls game than I would definitely not call it a hack and slash.
That building is enormous.
Alright, this is leading us closer. There's something on the map that's bothering me. This might be the room where I died in. Yeah, I think this is the room.
I understand wanting to be cautious, but...
I think this is the building where I got the ambush or the invasion thing. Because if on the minimap, there's like a little item icon there that's piqued my interest. This guy looks serious. What's your deal?
we might be able to move on without fighting this.
Nice. You have a lot of health, don't you? Okay. Ooh, I'm ready to use another wake up. Ooh, regen activation factor. Nice. That was worth it. Took a lot of damage, but we got another heal. We're pretty close to the missile. I'll have to do a little bit of fighting to get back to where we were at. But I'm gonna go ahead and use the missile. I want to make sure I have all my heals and stuff. Actually, where does that take me? Oh no, that's fine. That's just where... Okay, that's just leading to the stairs to get up here. Yeah, so Tusk, when I say this, I'm not trying to like say, oh, you should play it. I mean, I think if you want to, you know, you should, but I'm not trying to convince you or sell you on it per se, but again, I went into it hoping I would like the game, but honestly, a little bit of lowered expectations. For me, specifically, this was the first Souls-like game that I had played that was really similar on the surface to Dark Souls. You know, there were some like Salt and Sanctuary that are like, you know, 2D platformers or whatever that are kind of Souls-like. That's not what I mean. This was the first like really pure Souls-like that I played. I didn't play Heroes of the Fallen or whatever. I think that's what it's called. That's not what it's called. That's not what it's called. What the hell is that game called? What the hell is Heroes of the Fallen? Where did I make that up from? Whatever. I didn't play the other ones when they came out. So this was the first one for me, like very pure Souls-like game that I played. And again, I expected it to feel like a, I don't know, cheap imitation is the word, but I expected to feel like there was something missing. Like it wouldn't be as good as Dark Souls. But to me, in a lot of ways, it actually, you know, does really hold up. And again, it does things that are different to you know, stand out. And I think it does them well. So I was really happy with it. Yeah, again, I'm not trying to, like, tell you that you're wrong for saying you didn't want to play it or whatever. But just saying, I get it to an extent. But I was willing to give it a chance because, like, some about it just appealed to me. Couldn't be the waifu stuff. No. So we got some rotten missile over there.
It won't open.
Got a gate we
Let's try
can't
to
open.
find another way.
I think we still have quite a bit to do here.
Put that to good use.
We could probably upgrade this Zweihander again at this point. I heard him walking. Oh, we got dudes, different angles. Yeah, I mean, one of the things though, Tusk, is... Oh! Hello, Mia. One of the things is I wanted to make it clear I wasn't trying to be like, I'm offended that you didn't want to play this. I was just explaining my position, because a lot of people are like that. If you say, like, why is this guy up? Where did he come from? We just killed a dude, and then this guy's here. The hell? But a lot of people, when you say that, they get, like, really defensive about, like, but this is the thing I like, and I'm gonna make arguments for why you should like it. I'm not trying to be like that for sure. I'm just trying to make it clear. Because that can be annoying, like, because then people are like, dude, just let people like what they like. Okay, so you're just kind of... So for me, I don't actually think of it that way, but as you say, your will to play Souls games and that kind of stuff, the passion of pushing yourself to the limit is gone, right? And I get that, like... What I don't like about the Souls formula or Souls adjacent stuff, games that want to be like Dark Souls, I don't like the idea like that it just has to keep being more and more difficult. Like the game has to be so difficult that I develop hemorrhoids and take 6 years off of my life. Like I don't necessarily see that as fun per se. It can be, but like the game doesn't have to be excruciatingly difficult to be fun. And I think a lot of times some people get super into that element of like the Souls games, and that's like all they do is they just want like the most punishingly difficult thing possible, and they kind of miss the spirit of games can be fun without that too, right? And so for me, yeah, when I play games like this, I don't think of it as difficult. I don't have like, for me when I'm playing this right now, there's no like passion or anything saying like I want this game to be difficult so I can push past something that, you know, and prove myself or this or that or whatever. That's not how I feel about this right now, but I know some people would.
I'll be right there.
I do know there's gonna be some really difficult stuff later on. The DLC stuff is really, really difficult as far as I can remember. Like, very difficult. That way. Actually, it doesn't matter. Watch this. Climb from here to warp us to the other side. Doink. So for me, when I play a Souls game, I don't know, it's more about just like the feeling, the mood, the exploration. That's the stuff I really get the most out of a Souls game. And the difficulty is like a secondary thing. For the most part, I don't view the majority of Souls games as difficult. There might be one boss that gives me some trouble or something, but I don't view the majority of the game as particularly difficult. It's punishing. I always try to make that distinction. The game is punishing, right? You do something dumb, the game punishes you, but that doesn't really make it difficult. But it can, you know, it can make you die a lot, and people will often like misconstrue dying a bunch as difficulty, and I think those are two related but different things. So I've been down there. Yeah, that's where we came in earlier. Here's a shortcut now. I have no idea how to even get to it.
Okay, it's open.
I think I do. I think I know where we're at. This is why I'm saying this place is confusing. Because now we got these drop-off points. Now we got these damn drop-off points. And we still got like doors like looping back around on each other and stuff. And it's like, dude, I have no idea what's going on. So you think Dark Souls is the easiest, and the DLC is insanely fun and easy. I think my hardest boss in Dark Souls is definitely Smo and Ornstein, but I would say like Artorias and stuff do give me more trouble than maybe Artorias and Manus probably give me more trouble than any boss in the base game, aside from Smo and Ornstein.
Which way should we go now?
Oh yeah, I love Bloodborne. I like Bloodborne way more than most Souls games. It's a tough call between Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2 for me. But I love me some Bloodborne. I've been wanting to replay it as well. Hint, hint. And it's so eldritch and Lovecraftian. There's like a Shoggoth in it and stuff. So you know that's up my alley. The brain thing, the... what's it called? I don't remember what it's actually called. The Brain of Mendus or something. I don't remember. That thing is basically a Shoggoth. It's got eyeballs all over it. It's this weird, just blob with tentacles and stuff. Pretty much a Shoggoth. Is it Mensis? The brain of Men? Yeah, you just said it. I promise I didn't read that. What I did in my brain, I started saying Nightmare of Mensis. I was thinking about the region, Nightmare of Mensis, and I was like, that's what it's called. Because I knew it was based on a name, like based on the location as well. Yeah, and so here's the deal. I don't know if you know this, Tusk, but because I think this may have been before you started watching myself and Copperbeard. But Copperbeard was playing Bloodborne at one point, and he stopped. He was not having a good time. He was getting way too frustrated with it, and he backed out. Brain of... Oh no. But yeah, he backed out. He was not having a good time, basically. So we've been here. Was there anything else I could do here?
I'm on my way.
No, this is like death if I drop off. Again, this is where it gets confusing. But yeah, he was having a bad time. He was getting like unhealthily frustrated with the game. Oh my god, we're going through her. And I was trying to like help him out and be like, yo, calm down, take it easy. You know, here's where you can go to like grind some stuff or whatever. And he just wasn't feeling it, like I said. Cleric Beast, he's actually optional, by the way. Father Gascoigne is the first guy that's not optional. Gascoigne. Yeah, Gascoigne. I don't know why I said it like excessively French-like. Gascoigne. He is the first required boss. Cleric Beast, there are some tricks, but the problem is, you have to do, like you can use fire on him, right? But by doing that, you potentially reduce your supply of Molotov cocktails to the point where if you die and come back on another run, you may not have enough to get through that run. Trying to plan a route here. So we've been down there. This place is so confusing. Place is so confusing.
You can't go ahead on your own.
Gascoigne is definitely a much tougher boss, in my opinion, than Cleric Beast. But the again, fire really helps on Cleric Beast. I usually beat him on my first try. Throw a couple Molotovs in the middle of the fight to help things out. And it's all good. It's all good to go from there, but... Hold on. Do I see a place to drop down? How do I get there? Gascoigne, okay, I do agree, is much more dangerous. Much more dangerous. I need to find a way to get down there. What about this? No? Almost. Well, the thing with Gascoigne is when he can be a bit tough initially, but then when he pops out the transformation, ooh, yeah, he'll get you there if you're not careful. That's where he'll get you. If only I could just walk off to the side right here. How the fuck do I get there? I find this so confusing. Oh, I just saw you find Gascoigne harder than, I don't know why I read Aristotle. I don't think you're fighting Aristotle. Artorius. You said Artorius, but my brain read Aristotle. Is there, like, another path? No? Yeah, so the thing is, like, everything in Bloodborne is fast, basically. There's not a lot of slow things in Bloodborne. So that's another issue that'll catch people off guard, is, you know, early on, they're used to Dark Souls, and then Bloodborne is like, here's Gascoigne, he's already fast, and oh, by the way, he's gonna transform into an even faster, you know, werewolf thing now. Have fun. Like, that's brutal. If you're used to Souls, you're used to slow, methodical combat, that just throws a wrench into all of it, right? And completely changes up how you have to approach things. And then what he does is, like, he makes it where you have to have that very delicate balance between aggression and survivability. You know, and it's not easy. I think the last couple times I've played, I did beat him on my first try. But, yeah, actually, no, when I streamed it, I did beat him on my first try. And I remember because Copperbeard was struggling, and I was doing it like a bit as a joke, but also be like, nah, see, this is how you do it. I'm gonna show you how to do it, man.
We'll try another path.
Oh my god, how many more paths can I try? I've been running in circles for like minutes as we talk about this. Wait, can I go around the side? How do I get over there? That could be a hint. Okay, wait. Maybe I missed something. No, I don't think there's fake walls here, but maybe I think I missed something. I need to drop down to... Actually, I think... Can I drop down here? Yeah, this will get me where I want to go.
I'm on my way.
Yeah, I don't know if I finished the thought. So with Copperbeard, I was like, I'm gonna show you how it's done. And I wasn't trying to be a dick about it. But, I think I did beat him on my first try. It was a little bit close. Came in clutch a little bit, but it felt good to get him on my first try. Because I was a little worried about him. It had been a long time since I played Bloodborne. And I definitely was a little concerned about fighting him. And then to get him on the first go like that felt pretty good. I think that's where Copperbeard said he stopped playing the game the first time. Was Gascoigne. He did beat him on stream. And yeah, here's the route I didn't take before. Or it opened up after I did something else. So he did beat him on stream, and he got a good bit further into the game, but again, he was just not having fun.
You have to use every tool you have, right?
What makes you mad? Tell me. So here's a drop off. See how crazy this place is?
Sharp senses.
This is what I've been saying. This place is so confusing. Alright, we have two of these. One of these kills you and the other one... No, I'm joking. Am I?
Did a ladder move somewhere?
Yeah, I see it on the minimap. Don't... Come on, Mia. Look at the map. I'm actually glad we don't have to worry about weapon durability on here. That's, a bit of a nicety. Udix Gundyr, so you don't like that people were saying he's slow, because to you, he feels as fast as Artorias. He has a couple of fast moves, but I do think of him as a slow boss. Is Udix Gundyr the first boss in Dark Souls 3, or is he the which one is Gundyr? Which one is Udix Gundyr and which one is Gundyr Champion? Because there's one later in the game, like a secret one. Which one is Champion? Okay, we could drop down here. Champion is the secret one, okay. Yeah, so it's the first boss, Udix, which is a fancy word that basically means a judge, doesn't it? I think. But yeah, he's the, like the first boss. Yeah, I think he's fast, kind of, but... Like, he has fast moves, but I think overall he is a pretty slow boss. But then, yeah, he'll do like a fast... Like a zoomy combo where he'll come in real quick. That's where he'll get you. It's not so much that he's entirely fast, it's that he has bursts of speed. You know what? I'm gonna walk around this top part too. I want the whole thing covered with breadcrumbs.
Hey, are you pushing yourself too hard?
Always. Alright, where are we?
Are you tired? We should rest a little.
Yeah, we found Missile.
Let's take a little break.
Look at this angel-looking door. It's cool stuff. You know, one thing I do like about this game, you know, whether you're into the story or not's another thing, but I like that this game has a...
That's not the kind of relief sculpture you usually see.
I was gonna let her talk. I like that this game has a pronounced story with like actual like movies and like full-on dialogue and stuff. I understand that's a charm of Dark Souls, and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying I want Dark Souls to be different, but I like that this game wanted to be different and have like a proper story.
It won't open. Let's try to find another way.
Oh, and the game I was trying to think of earlier was Lords of the Fallen. And I was like, yeah, that's the one. I never played it, but that was like a pretty pure Souls-like that got a lot of attention, and I don't think, I think it was pretty mixed for a lot of people. I don't think it was as successful as they wanted to be, but now they're making another one. The first game was called Lords of the Fallen, and the new game is called The Lords of the Fallen.
It won't open.
Yeah, that's
Let's
terrible.
Try to find another way.
I don't know why they did that. That's a little bit too obtuse. Put an article in front of the title and say it's a sequel. Like, literally just an article, like a part of speech. The word "the." Udex's spear pokes, they scare you. Who was your hardest boss in the Souls games? It's a titty lady. Damn it, I thought I was gonna get another backstab.
It won't open. Let's try to find another way.
See, for me, I want to think of an answer for that as well. I'm immediately tempted to say Smo and Ornstein, but I don't know if that's actually my answer. I was gonna say Nameless King is a contender for sure. He gave me a lot of trouble my first time, not as much the second time. Bloodbead Candy. Yeah, he didn't give me as much trouble the second time, or the third, or however many times I fought him after that.
Here's an interesting
But
place.
he gave me a lot of trouble the first time. Smo and Ornstein, even the last time I played it, which I don't remember anymore, it's been a while, but even the last time I played the game, they still give me a lot of trouble. So yeah, Nameless King, definitely a big contender for me. Oh, there's no... Yeah, we went in a different spot. Nice. Who else? Who else? Who did I just like... It's gotta be one of those bosses or something from the DLC of Dark Souls 3, the Prince thing. See, I don't know, I beat them with less work. Wait, Lord of Cinder or Soul of Cinder? Lord of Cinder is Gwyn, right? The last boss of Dark Souls. Soul of Cinder is the Dark Souls 3 one. Okay, yeah, Soul of Cinder, I love him. He gave me some trouble the first time, but not too much. That's one of my favorite bosses in any Souls game. He does things I hate. He does do things I hate, but he gets a pass because he's so cool. He has multiple phases, and I don't like that. Or multiple health bars. Phases is fine. Multiple phases is fine, but multiple life bars I hate. I hate when bosses do that. So I am a little bit lost now, but we haven't gone this way yet. You know a boss that I do think is pretty difficult? One of the hardest bosses, but is one of my favorite bosses as well, and doesn't do things that I hate. Fume Knight. I think Fume Knight is really fucking cool, and he gives me my favorite weapon.
You have to use every tool you have, right?
So it's a win-win. What is this? Down there?
It's finally open.
So what's over here before I jump down? Yeah, Fume Knight I think kicks ass. You know, how long have we been in this area? Dude, I told you this place is crazy. It's been like an hour and a half or something. You know, like an hour, 20 minutes. Let's see. I mean, yeah, you did that hydrate an hour ago, 60 minutes. And we were in here. We were already in here fighting things. And exploring and stuff before that.
It won't open? We finally made it.
So this place is just wild. Drop off? It is, but I'm not quite ready to take it. What about over here? You could. But there's another way to get down there that involves less falling. Okay, I see enemies over there that are ready to climb up. Big one up there. I just saw jiggles. That's all I'm gonna say. Like when I hit her, I saw jiggles. Which tells me a lot about her armor. It's probably not very effective, is it? How did that miss? Alright, we got options here. That leads to over here. This one here. Looks like we have two different drops we can take. I think I want to try this one for now. I don't trust being near these ledges. It's part of why I took damage, because I didn't want to do any risky rolls.
Not too shabby, right?
Oh, you're talking about Soul of Cinder, right? That's interesting though, because people read some interesting stuff out of that boss fight. And this is like the real spoiler. I mean, we've already been spoiling everything in the Souls games, but this is the real spoiler. If you care about Souls lore, people were saying that Soul of Cinder is like every character who's linked the flame in the past, and he's the player. That's what they say. I don't know about all that, but that's how people interpreted it, and that's how people were talking about it. Like, he's the player, he represents everyone, that's why he becomes a mage, that's why he becomes like a warrior. Like, he goes through multiple archetypes. Or he can go through multiple archetypes, depends on how long you take, or yeah, how long you take really, or how lucky or unlucky you get. Well, that's how people interpret it. I don't really see that stuff. I feel like that's just kind of Souls players being Souls players and reading too much into it, but maybe I'm too cynical. Maybe I'm too cynical and I should give the developers more credit. Like, I would hate if that's what the developers were actually trying to do, and I'm just saying it's bullshit or whatever, like it's not real. Oh, did the other one jump off? What a dumbass. I just personally don't see all that stuff. Like, if you want to say that, you gotta spell it out. Okay, so I've never been a fan of a lot of literary analysis in general. I feel like a lot of it is like, is that really what the person who wrote this was trying to do? Or are you just making stuff up that you think sounds cool? That's how I feel about a lot of that kind of stuff. Don't fall. See, that was very, very frightening. What do you mean it's what the player... Well, no, I don't... I don't think it's the, I think, okay, when you say it's the player, I think what people are saying it is it's every player. Because it goes in this cycle, right? So they're saying it's every player who's beaten the game, basically. Or every player who's linked the flame. Not just one, but not just you, but all of them because of the cycle. But also, and that's why they're saying he turns into, like, you know, multiple different archetypes of characters, like the mage and the warrior and stuff. Because he represents, like, they don't know how people in general played. No, that's legitimately what they're saying. Like, if you go look at the, like, the lore stuff, that's what people were saying. It's an homage to the player base. And again, it's the cycle. Because you light the flame, and then everything's gonna happen again. You're gonna have to go... Someone else is gonna have to come back and light the flame again in the future, and then someone's gonna have to do it again. Someone's gonna have to do it again. Ad infinitum. Until someone breaks that cycle, right? That's like the whole lore. That's why you get New Game Plus, right? Because, hey, the cycle's going on again. You gotta do it again. Or someone's gotta do it again. That's what people were saying when the game came out. I don't know if people changed, like, the lore talk since then, but... Nice. They thought they were gonna buff up? Nah, not on my watch. So we got a drop-off point here I would like to take. So many places to drop off. We got one here. What I want to do is get a, What ladder? What ladder? Are you looking ahead? Is there a ladder at the bottom here? I want to open up the route so we can easily navigate through here. Okay, so now we want to go over that way, take that drop off. There's like 2 drop offs. Oh, I think she was seeing the ladder on the side, maybe. I think there's one on the side. So first we'll take this drop off. Enemy? No. Rotten missile, though. Let's do it. You know what I...
Something nice? We'll put that to good use.
You know what I've always thought of? I've been thinking this for a very long time, and I've never mentioned it. But what I think would be cool is, so you know how YouTube has auto-generated captions? And they're really good for the most part. But what they don't handle very well is, domain-specific dialogue. What I mean by that is, if you have, like, a game or something, and they make up a word, missile... In this case, it's not an entirely made-up word. It's like mistletoe or whatever. But it's not... If I say missile, it sounds like I'm talking about a weapon, right? A missile that's gonna, like, blow something up. Not M-I-S-T-L-E, right? I think it would be cool, though, if YouTube, with all their Google money and AI and stuff that they have, were also parsing the video. And they do some of this to a degree. But if they were using computer vision to parse the video and look for text on the screen as well, and that would help it figure out domain-specific dialogue, like the word missile that I'm saying, that's not actually what it sounds like I'm saying, right? If that makes sense.
I don't think we've been up there.
No, we haven't. What is this for? Oh no. Yeah, the Dark Souls sensor thing is terrible. Ooh, I almost rolled off. And again. I'm trying to heal, but that's like fighting the stupid archers in Anor Londo, where you have like very little room to fight them, and if you don't do it just right, you just fall basically, because you can't dodge or anything.
They want to keep this place private, I guess.
Yeah, the Dark Souls profanity filter is absolutely terrible. I'm not really good. You put it in chat, like, you didn't say anything bad, I'm not saying you're wrong, but like, I'm not gonna say what it is. Okay, it's the word night. 3 letters in the word night get censored. But we're talking about Dark Souls, a game in which night is one of the pre-generated starting classes that you can pick. Well, actually, they're all pre-generated. You don't have other classes in Dark Souls. But you see my point. A game in which night is one of the classes you can pick to start with censors 3 letters, not the whole word, 3 letters in the middle that can be construed as something bad. And that's a bit ridiculous. That's a really bad profanity filter. And I don't know why they didn't find a better one or make a better one. I just feel like at that point, it's kind of absurd. It could be, honestly, it could be a thing where, a language barrier thing. It's a Japanese developer. Maybe they found like an off-the-shelf approach. Does this close it? Because we never went this way yet. Maybe they found an off-the-shelf thing, and because they're not a Western developer, they just kind of went with whatever's off the shelf, and it's a bit of an aggressive filter. I don't know. Overzealous. And what'd you say about Anor Londo? The archers. You didn't die a single time? Huh. That's interesting. I usually get the last... Oh, I forgot about you. I usually get through without dying the last... however many times I've played. Like, the first time through, it gave me a lot of trouble. I didn't know about them, though. The first time through, I'd never heard about them. It was a natural thing for me as a player that they gave me a lot of trouble. What I often do is just run past them. I don't fight them or anything. Yeah, Sen's Fortress, if you don't know it, is kind of difficult.
So our exploration is going okay?
Once you know it, once you've done it, like right now, it's been so long I wouldn't really remember it. But if you know it, it's not bad at all.
There.
Yeah, now you don't die a single time. I probably would die maybe a couple times if I did it right now, because it's been too long. But wouldn't be too bad. Not like my first playthrough. Oh, I forgot about them. I was trying to remember if I was going to have to fight through any of these or not. Damn it. Oh, you can knock them down. They're just hard to do. Okay.
Let's head onward.
These guys with their weird tails. You know what they look like? They look like a man-eater from Demon Souls a little bit. These are like babby man-eaters. Honestly, to me, most things in a Souls game, this game included, the first time through are much more difficult. And then once you've done it once, like, it's kind of whatever, right? Oh, dude, get wrecked by Mia. All right, I think this is an actual boss. Maybe, maybe not. Let's find out. Wait, what place is, Shrine of Amana? Is that the name? I think. Yep. What's your name? Argent Wolf Berserker. My love for you is like a truck berserker. Oh, this boss actually hit me, unlike the last one. The stripper pole boss didn't even touch me. Ow. Heal me, Mia! Oh, too late. He said a mama shrine.
How are you doing?
Better now that I'm alive again. See, we gotta get through this without taking damage, without needing to heal. Part of the problem is this next room, or this room here at the end, you get ambushed. Oh, I took damage. I didn't even realize that. Damn! Mia, why are you so strong?
We'll put that to good use.
Can you do that to the boss? See, I am 100% serious when I talk about I like overpowered things. If I had a companion that could literally two-shot the boss, I'd be happy. Wait. Milf Nito. Oh, wait. No. Those are the names of the ladies or something, right? Milfanito? Bruh. Oh my fucking god. Dude, this is why I was saying, like, this place is gonna suck getting to the boss. More than anything. There we are. Yeah, I'm almost better just trying to run through and see if I can do it without dying, basically. Oh, bad. Bad again! And again! We'll get there eventually. Oh, come on. Nice. I'm getting away. Oh, he's just powering up. He's going instinct mode. It's gotta be like instinct or something now, because Super Saiyan doesn't matter anymore, does it? Oh yeah, like God Super Saiyan and crap. Well, she healed me this time. And then I died. We both died. Should I just try running past like everything? It's risky. I feel like stamina runs out quickly when you're sprinting. The other thing that makes it risky is these dudes teleport. So I could be running, yeah, see that? I could be running and the teleport will happen and I won't know in time to dodge. Like that. That's some bullshit. Oh, don't die, Mia. Okay. Oh, she's here. Alright, we'll heal. Pretty much up to max. Forgot you can't grab it while sprinting. Oh my god! Damn! Ah, I wasted that. And now Mia's gotta revive me if I'm lucky. Okay. This guy is throwing down the hammer.
It might be a good idea to cool down a bit.
I see a potential option. We're gonna fight this guy. Or are we? Yeah, no, we're gonna fight this one. No, I pulled you out of that. Stop teleporting, being an asshole. So... this route doesn't work. But I think there's a safer route. Well, I don't know, it might be... No, it's probably worse. But I was thinking this. So this leads us here. This is... It's more time consuming though. But I feel like it is safer. So I could just ignore some enemies and get to the boss. Also, holy shit. I just realized my leg's not really hurting much anymore. Like, I just moved it in a way that, like, I kind of felt it a bit. But that BC powder actually did the trick. I approve. Oh my god. I was trying to parse your message there, Tusk. Ah. I got too... Oh my god. I got too excited to get an attack in. I don't wait for him to do his second attack. Get away. Oh my... Dude, that... Did you see my health bar? That's basically a one-shot. That's redonkulous. Mia, I appreciate the sentiment, but we're fighting a boss. I'm gonna heal if I need to. Oh, I backstabbed the boss? Hell yeah. Wake up. Grab a brush and put a little makeup. Come on, get greedy! Haha, and we win. Greater loss dispersed. And we got some fancy-ish over here. I feel like something big is gonna happen here. As in... I feel like this might take quite a while to get through. You'll be teleported to a different area. Pick up this vestige? No. Yeah, I think that's like a really long, like an hour, 2 hour, I don't remember. We can move forward. We can move forward and come back there in a bit. There we go. What was that, 3 or 4 tries? I don't know, I didn't pay attention. I didn't keep count. Wasn't bad though, right?
I don't think we've been up there.
We haven't, Mia. We just got here at the same time. I remember this. Yeah, it's like I can't see. Where the hell is Mia? I felt like she could have been attacking the whole damn time. Dude, where is she? She obviously just attacked, but... that boss reminded you of Smelter Demon? Time is it? We are 3 hours and 15 minutes, basically. 14. Go a little bit longer, 45 minutes or so longer, and then wrap this one up. Notice we're still not done in this area, though. We are still not done in this area. Are you gonna drop down? I wish that would have hit. Come on. Oh my god. There we go. Cut your titties off. Put them things up.
What do you think we'll find? You have to use every tool you have, right?
Wait, oh, what I was trying to say is we're still in like this Anor Londo looking at area, like we're not done.
I'm on my way.
That was not like the end of the area, right? And I think there's still quite a bit left. I remember that particular climb and that part of the run here, and I feel like there is a lot left in here, to the point where I don't know if we're gonna beat it today. Unless I'm mixing it up with another area on some different parts, but I do remember those like multi-ladders. I remember running through that multiple times, like as if I was dying or something. Hardest boss in Dark Souls, without the expansion, who? So we've been here, right? I lost my bearings for some reason. I see the breadcrumbs. Yeah, we didn't go down. Neato. I barely remember him. I don't think too much of him. But I won't forget stupid Smo and Ornstein. No! Can they climb up? The big one made it up here, huh? Oh my god, get hit! Jeez. There's another... Oh! Oh my god. Alrighty. And I'm being hit from multiple angles. Damn it. I hit the wrong stuff there. Come on. Oh, there we go. No, not another big one. Heal me. Kill the other one. No. No. Do it. Do it, Mia. There's more. We're still not fucking done. Yes, let me iframe this. Get fisted. Come on, let that be it.
Really hurt.
Dude, the music's still going. What is it? Oh no! No, not one of you! Yes. Yes! Wow. The Lost Invader's presence can no longer be felt. Good God. I kind of forgot that Nito had, like, other dudes. Shit.
There.
I know I'm super hurt. I was making sure there was nothing else here for now. There is, but... pure blood. Woo! Come on, Mia, put in work. Nope. I actually have more health thanks to that. But Mia can only do that so many times. Alright. You have PTSD of them? Alright, so this can take us... where?
I'll be right there.
I hear some weird noises.
Looks like we can lower the ladder from up there.
Ah, okay. I'm like so close to death. Killed by death. I was really hoping for a shortcut or something. Oh, I remember this.
Do you see that?
I do. This place is confusing. This is the place I was thinking of as well. So confusing.
Want to head up this ladder? Look, do you see that?
I remember that chest too. Maybe if we could pull one at a time. Nope. Nope. Okay, yeah. We're not in good shape, are we? Wrong button. My bad. Are you serious? Are you for serious? Okay, well, we made it.
You have to use every tool you have, right? Is it something nice?
A shoddy key.
That somewhere.
What if they made a typo because O and I are next to each other on the QWERTY keyboard? What if it was the shitty key? Someone just like put it up their ass or something.
Want to climb down?
Yes, we haven't been this way yet. Oh, I just have memories of this, like I died here more than once. Or I was really cautious. This is a shortcut or something. YOLO, grab it. Got a little over half an hour left, about a half an hour or so. Try and lock in as much progress as I can here. Hear noises that I don't like. Another gate, too. Another door.
We'll need a key.
An ornate key, okay. I was partially dreading this Anor Londo-ish area. Also looking forward to it, but it is like very long, and I remembered having a lot of trouble here. Oh, there we are. A big one. Oh no, you're not a big one. I'm gonna get as far away as I can. They're still coming. I don't know where they went. That's okay. It's a risky way to do it, but I was trying to push through to hopefully get missile or something. With their vestige thing.
What is that over there?
Nope. Looking for shortcuts before anything else. Or a straight up missile. I don't like these noises.
Go ahead on your own.
Alright, we'll go the other way. We'll go this way because there's like a ladder. No, the ladder is not where I want to be right away. This is where I want to be. Shit. Queen steel.
We'll put that to good use.
So there's... Damn it. Okay.
You think this ladder will hold?
Alright, what is happening? This is just so you can drop off once you get the thing, okay. Also, there's really no heal. No heals, huh? What's going on, Crepe? This does cause you to regenerate. That stuff's a bit more rare, but I could do that. Is there another way around here? Nope. Not right now. Ah, damn it. Oh no, she got me again. Alright. I'm being a bit greedy because I just remember various bits and bobs about this area. And it's causing me to be a bit greedy to try and push through. This is the one where I said, never mind, I'll do it later. Can we pull one? Can we pull one? Come on. Alright, that's good. We didn't have to quite pull, but it's close enough. Come on, do your crazy, like, super damaging stuff. Alright, wait until they turn around, I guess. There we go. Gotta be forceful here. And a big one. And an, oh, that's rough. And it's like right where we've been. I think that is a shortcut. So we either need to pull or run past. Damn it. I'm gonna go for the shortcut. If I can. There's a ladder over here. Tomato Odin sandwich. Yakumo or something? I don't remember. Is that his name? I'm bad with his name for some reason. Alright. No! There we are. Try to abuse the knockback. I thought this was going to get me to the shortcut. See, this is what I remember about the area was a lot of pain in navigation because of essentially this. Essentially what we're seeing here, a lot of pain in navigating. And this is only rotten missile, which sucks because I want real stuff. I could use the Vivifier or whatever. There's actual missile. Okay. I pushed forward way farther than I should have. Got me to some missile. We're good for now. Okay. Very close to another level up. You know what? Close enough that I'm gonna pop some of these. Okay, now I feel a little bit better. Because that's a big, beefy segment. Now, what I could do is I can go back and clean things up now.
That relief sculpture again.
Yeah.
What does it signify? It won't open. Let's try to find another way.
If only we'll figure that out one day. I doubt it. I doubt the game would ever let us open a suspicious door that we have now seen two of.
I don't think we've been up there.
This place gets stranger the more you see of it, huh?
You have to use every tool you have, right?
This is that other shortcut. We saw it earlier where it's like if only we could use that ladder, right? Or we could knock that, we could lower that ladder. Ah, get got. Love a good backstab. I don't like hearing someone walk around. I think they're... I was gonna say I think they're below, but now we got an extra player here in the fight. Okay, we got one there on the side. That looks like it. Nope, he got. Alright, we got an item there. Is that a drop we can do? Yes, but not an item. And I think these might all link up in the center. We're obviously going to go for the item first.
Looks pretty tough to me.
Yeah, they do all link up. And yes, we've seen this earlier, but we couldn't get to this side, so we've made a good call by going here. Yeah, so... Again, I like this area, but there's also, like, almost too many things happening. This is all the way back at the start, by the way.
Use that somewhere.
All the way back at the start. Except when we started, we had to climb that ladder, and we couldn't get straight to this midsection here. So, it's crazy how this is looped around. It is very impressive, but it also makes it extremely confusing to navigate. Again, that's the main reason I had a little bit of dread for this area, because I remembered just like how crazy it is to get around. I can't seem to get backstabs right now. Nice. Like chrome blood on the wall is cool, and they do drop a chrome, Isis chrome there.
Huh? Is that really?
Alright, so what I'm thinking here is... let's hop down, there's stuff to do. I think this is maybe the room where we got invaded and I never picked up the thing. Chop that titty off.
We'll put that to good use.
Lure forth a threat with the scent of blood. Maybe not. I hate that you can get interrupted out of that. Not a fan of that. Either that or I'm replaying the invasion, which would suck. I don't think I am, though. Yes! Let them drop off. Let them jump off to their death. That's amazing. Also, that was a terrible time to heal. I thought they died. I'm gonna be honest. We're gonna give this one a wake up. Or not. Ooh, that reach. Alright, help me out, Mia. Thank you. Ow. Jeez. Yeah, these invasions are brutal. I wonder if it's a range thing on whether you get the knockdown or not. Oh, yeah, I was about to say, I hear something. Inhibit. I don't like that. Oh, it means I can't use my moves. Not the end of the world. I can still do that. I'm pretty sure I am replaying the invasion I did earlier. Damn it. Yeah, I am trying not to let myself die, but as you see, it's not going well at times. Yeah! Okay, no, we haven't done this one.
That was too close.
Because we got a thing, I guess. But now I'm, like, dead. Do I want to use an item to warp back? It's not gonna matter if I get killed. No, I'm again, I feel like that was a replay. Because I swear, this is where I fought some of them off the first time, in this hallway. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say, this place is so confusing. That's fine. You know what I'm trying to do is I'm going to use a vivifier or whatever. Where's it at? Without losing haze, yeah. Okay, you better not have taken the item. Oh my god. Dude! Mia, you're doing terrible on this enemy. Literally just... oh my god. I don't care about all that. I want to use the stupid vivifier. Like, that's all I wanted to do. Alright, let's reset. Because I have no idea where I'm at. I have no idea what's going on. Can't go through that door. What's this way? I might do a little bit of overtime here to try to press out of this confusing area. That way I don't have to do it tomorrow. I don't want to like go to sleep and stuff tonight and forget where I'm at or like how to navigate this place basically. Because it is very confusing.
This place gets stranger the more I see of it.
So where am I? Jeez. There we go. Been trying to do that for a minute there. Last time, yeah, I was gonna say, last time we got hit by a second one.
You have to use every tool you have, right?
Where does this drop to? Right, okay. So what about this? Is this that shortcut? I want every fight to go like that. I mean, I know it took damage, but pretty smooth overall. Nope. Also, I think this is where I was just at. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where I was just at. You know, we'll climb back up here. We'll go back in here. I might be making a mistake. This is where the item was a minute ago. And then I dropped down. Was there anything else to do up here? Look how many ladders there are on the map, like in this one spot. We're back at the start. Yeah. And that's a dead end. See, at the beginning, if you're watching, and I'm talking about how confusing this place is, and there's like drop-offs and all kinds of stuff, this is what I was talking about. This is why it's so confusing. Okay, no. I can redo that again. I'm not doing it again. That's totally the same one I've already done. More than once, even. I might be able to go back and do that other one now. Like, it's still going to be difficult, but it's not going to be much more different than the one I just survived twice. Your healing's low. Alright, what's up? This is what led to... Wait, are we back at the beginning?
You can't go ahead on your own.
Son of a bitch, we are. We're like straight up at the beginning. Okay. I saw this a minute ago. I don't know how to navigate it. Like, I don't know where this takes me is what I'm trying to say. Okay, no, this is good.
Don't slip and fall, okay?
Probably could try, but I won't. Alright, what's up? See, I've done all this, but I don't remember how any of it links together, because it's too intertwined. This is, again, it's fascinating, but it's actually a little bit too much in my opinion. Okay, this is one where we got one of the keys, or something, I don't know. No reason to go there, so we go down. What I'm trying to do at this point is just, even though we've done this, and there's probably another quicker way to do it, from that last missile, this is my easiest way of getting back to,
Do you want to keep going?
to some of the spots that I didn't finish, cleaning up. So I have the key, the ornate key, wherever that goes. Oh, wait. Is this it?
I'll be right there.
Yes, okay. Now to find out how this links up to anything. Is this back in the room where...
The cathedral is finally right in front of us.
Yes. Oh, thank goodness. Alright, this is actually good because I'll stop here in a few minutes. I won't press onward past this. But it's good because I don't have to re-navigate that stuff tomorrow when it's out of my brain from today. You know what I mean? The worst of the navigation is done. And yeah, the cathedral's there. We made it, basically. We're ready to go to the cathedral. But that leaves a few extra things that I haven't done here. So we'll try to look into doing that stuff now for a few minutes before I wrap. I think I was about to go down a few minutes ago and I didn't. Yeah, I heard. I didn't know you were a teleporter. I'm a lot less concerned now. I'll probably be a little sloppy for a minute. Alright. Sounds of an enemy.
I'm on my way.
Actually, we want to go... Well, what's up? This is where we were at when Crepe first showed up. I remember doing this pull right around that time. Like, can I pull one?
Put that to good use.
Ow. Beautiful. I mean, I took a lot of damage for it. I got punished, but they got more punished because they're the one that's dead now. This is the room I ran through, and I actually wanted to try to clear this. This is also where Mia died, right? There we go. Okay. I was being a little bit rushed there before this one got pulled into the fight. I'm gonna give him a wake-up surprise. That's what I like to think of that as. Knock him down and then hit him with that. You know it.
That's a marvelous find.
Oh, those are weird sounds. That's all we wanted here. There's not much else for me to do here now. I'll try to save.
You can't go ahead on your own.
Bruh, she could just. She's so strong. That's what I was trying to say. So I'll try to get back to that last spot I was at. And make sure I didn't miss anything, because the other time I went through, I was like running through in a frenzy, trying not to die. This is back up where I just fought the guys where I was talking about Crepe, yeah. Okay. So now I went through here. Right. This is where the rotten missile was at, wasn't it? I think. Or we could drop off there, or we could go here. Alright, this is where... Oh, right. I went backwards. Okay. So I can go down. Oh, it's up. Never mind. What was up here? I think I may have just been up here and I'm losing track because, yeah, it's so confusing. At least to me. Again, this stuff to me is both a marvel of level design and also a, like, what the hell? Why? Why, oh why? I have exactly 2 haze left. I don't know whether I should be happy or pissed off. We'll warp back to the home base. Close enough to time for me to wrap up. We've been going for 3 hours and 55 minutes. At least in 3 seconds it will be. There's like a 7-minute intro music, but that's good enough. It's close enough. I was gonna say, try to level up my weapon, but not with 2 haze, but...
What do you want to upgrade?
We'll take a look at it though. Do I have... yeah, I would say if I need 3, and I have 23,
Okay.
I could upgrade it a bit. Let's take care of that. 3,000 ought to be decent. I don't know how much I actually need haze-wise.
What do you want to upgrade?
I feel like it's not that much. Yeah, about 1,000. Zweihander 5, let's go. And a 6. Now we need queen titties. I mean titanium. Okay. We just also started dealing way more damage with this thing, so pretty happy about that. And I think that is my cue to wrap up the stream. So thank you to anyone who showed up today, whether you are lurking, chatting, masturbating, whatever you like to do while you watch the stream. I appreciate it. If you are new, you like the stream, you can go ahead and hit that follow button where I stream here every day. Mondays and Wednesdays are coding streams. Every other day is gameplay. Saturday and Sunday are double stream days. My schedule right now is Tuesday, Thursday, Crackdown 2. Friday night, Saturday night, Code Vein. Saturday in the day, Sunday in the daytime, Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. Sunday night, Genshin Impact. My coding streams, I'm currently going through a Rust. I do all my coding in Rust, by the way, so I don't need to keep saying Rust over and over, but I'm going through a roguelike tutorial right now, and we're just getting close to wrapping up like the basic functionality, and then it's going to get into a lot of like algorithms and stuff coming up, so it's going to be pretty exciting if you're into development and all that, at least. Some cool stuff coming up. So that's it for my schedule. If you're watching this on YouTube in the future, congrats on being in the future. And if you do all the fun YouTube stuff, I'd appreciate that. You know how it works, right? You can lick the like button, kick that subscribe button, and notification bell. Leave me a comment. I do read my comments, and I'll try to respond to them if they are substantive. If your comment is just like the letter J, I might not have much to say. But, you know, it is what it is. So, again, I guess that basically covers everything. So thank you to anyone who was watching this, whether on Twitch or on YouTube. And, next time. Speaking of comments, someone left a comment on, literally I just saw an email notification, someone left a new comment on one of my uploads of a concert I went to on the 1st of October last year. Okay, it's on my YouTube channel as well. It's from one of the Once Human videos. Anyway though, that was very apropos for that to happen right now as I'm talking about all this. So until next time, have a good day, have a good night, whatever it is, wherever you're at, take it easy.
It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Oh no!